Oh, hi. Didn't see you come in. I was just hanging up my new award. Apparently there have been a lot of these getting out lately. I was blocked by Lily Pete without saying anything. It's pretty apt. I go to the Twitter page today and voila, blocked. It's not like I followed the page, just not like I ever tweeted anything at her in the first place. So, considering that I've done literally nothing to get me this, let me go ahead and do something to deserve it. Let's do a Headcanon episode on Lily Pete. Lily Pete, formerly known as Jeri Pete, and will be known as such throughout the rest of this video, is a YouTuber who started video commentaries and game reviews, and then began to do MLP analysis, eventually moving on to other series. She was born male, but identifies as a female, and oftentimes brings this up in her reviews and reviews. Her two biggest series are A Glass of Water and In a Minute, the former being a long-style review and opinion of an episode or concept, and the latter being a short comedic commentary of an episode. Sounds like a run-of-the-mill analyst channel, right? Well, as it so happens, the main problem is that Jeri Pete is a giant asshole. The Glass of Water series in particular tends to have extremely overstated and over-emphatic opinions that cause backlash with her viewers. Most of the points Jeri tries to make and stand for, she often fails to practice. For example, Jeri committed art theft when she took an image from the DA of Sapphire Heartsong, and stated that this image would be her representation of the fandom from now on. Upon hearing this, Sapphire asked for credit for the work, in which she responded with a resounding no, and then made a video about her actions when Sapphire legally took the video down for copyright. In this video, she states that the respect needs to be earned, and that she is not going to credit any artists who aren't important in her eyes. In that video, a bunch of Sapphire's assets were used, but because it was a review of her work and character, that was legal use. However, a few months later, Jeri then took down FNGR's video with a copyright strike for using her assets on a commentary of her behavior. Cyclical logic is something that Jeri does in a multitude of videos. However, cyclical logic and intense opinions does not a bad person make. The main issue with Jeri is that she is convinced that her opinions are fact, to the point where she refuses to discuss any alternatives against them, and calls any opinion other than hers inferior. I believe Voice of Reason said it best.
For example, if Patton Oswalt's daughter said that she loves Stranger Than Fanfiction because, quote, her daddy is a pony who becomes friends with Rainbow Dash, and Lily Pete went up to her and told her that her opinion was wrong and that episode sucked because Lily's reasons were far more thought out, other people would see that as completely disparaging. So remember, share your opinions openly and respect others, especially those you disagree with, and talk to each other about them so you can understand each other better.
She claims that she discusses her opinions openly. However, the people she discusses it with are a well-known echo chamber of her closest fans, an extremely well-filtered Discord that immediately will silence any dissenters, and the comments on her videos tend to disappear without a trace. No person is so perfect that their opinions are 100% right. Humanity is flawed, and being completely unable to entertain the possibility that other opinions may have merit is not only obnoxious, it can be defined as mental illness. After extensive searching, I believe I've determined what mental illness Jeri has: narcissistic personality disorder. According to Psychology Today, a mental health resource center and site to locate mental health specialists, describes narcissistic personality disorder thusly. The hallmarks of narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, are grandiosity, a lack of empathy for other people, and a need for admiration. People with this condition are frequently described as arrogant, self-centered, manipulative, and demanding. They may also concentrate on grandiose fantasies and may be convinced they deserve special treatment. These characteristics typically begin early in adulthood and must be consistently evident in multiple contexts, such as work and in relationships. NPD can be diagnosed by identifying at least 5 of the following points. Let's go down the list and find examples that apply. Exaggerates own importance.
I'm often accused of not respecting other opinions because I have an entire series dedicated to telling people that they're wrong, and I'm not particularly gentle about it. But if you stop and think for a minute, if I'm taking the time to entertain your opinion and come up with a lot of reasons why it's wrong, and then spend hours creating the video that tells you why it's wrong, clearly that means I respected your opinion enough to consider it worth refuting in the first place. Whereas I simply could have told you to fuck off and booted up World of Warcraft for a few hours instead. Like seriously, Legion's out, it's great, and I'm sitting here talking to you rather than playing it.
Is preoccupied with fantasies of success, power, beauty, intelligence, or ideal romance. Jeri is engaged to a woman named Lizzie. However, they have not been officially married, yet she constantly says that Lizzie is her wife. Believes he or she is special and can only be understood by other special people or institutions.
I have never once told people they're not allowed to have their opinions, unless their opinions are that other people shouldn't get the same rights and freedoms as they do. What I've actually done is demonstrate the difference between a shallow opinion and a nuanced opinion, pointing out in detail where the two differ. Whether or not you're entitled to your opinion is completely irrelevant. Your right to your own opinion, or your individuality, is not what is being questioned, and to continue to assert such a thing is a red herring. The fact that you're entitled to your opinion does not make your opinion informed, nuanced, or thoughtful. It just means you're allowed to have your opinion, regardless of how stupid or wrong it may be.
Requires constant attention and admiration from others. Jeri maintains a Discord hug box of people who pay her or she approves of, and no one in that chat goes against her without being removed. Has unreasonable expectations of favorable treatment. The transgender argument. Jeri constantly claims that anyone that says her name wrong is misgendering her, and demands proper treatment. Now you may notice I've been using Jeri and her interchangeably. I still recognize her as a woman. I just question the naming of Lily. I'm not calling her Jeri. I'm calling her Jeri. A perfectly fine female name. People like this. Or this. Personally, I think you named yourself Lily just to stir up conflict and get more attention. Takes advantage of others to reach his or her own goals. Justice Torch! Disregards the feelings of others, lacks empathy.
Whenever it's suggested that children deal with their bullies by getting physical, social media is full of cries of violence only begets more violence, and other similar platitudes that are easy to make when you're sat comfortably at home, privileged to not have to be around these kind of cretins. But whenever I ask them if they have a better idea, guess what I get? More platitudes, more vagary, no concrete practical solutions that would work better than just clobbering someone in the head. That's not selling me on anything, that's just appealing to morality. And it's conservatives appealing to morality too, which is fucking rich.
Is often envious of others or believes other people are envious of him or her.
There's actually an extremely seedy underbelly of the analysis community that few people talk about, the Rift. It's a loose cluster of sub 5,000 channels trying to get more recognition for analysis to be closer to the likes of Silverquill, KP, Dr. Wolf, and myself. However, there's this overwhelming attitude of entitlement within them, believing that they deserve views without putting in the same level of work.
Shows arrogant behaviors and attitudes.
If you're a child watching this right now and you're being bullied in school, here's what you do. You demand that your bully cease their behavior, and if they refuse, grab the heaviest object you can reliably swing and beat their fucking teeth in. Yeah, you'll get suspended, but that suspension will end and that bully will never bother you again because of how much that beating actually hurt.
Okay, so we've got a check mark in every category. How many is that? 9. And how many did we need? 5. Wow, Jeri, you overachiever, you. I guess no one can ever say you go halfway, except, your gender reassignment surgery. Now, I don't pretend to be a psychologist. I consider myself a scientist at best, and more often a theorist. Theorists are prepared to be wrong, and I wish that I was wrong in this assessment. I've gone through pages upon pages of different mental illnesses to try and figure out what makes Jeri tick, and this was the only one that fits them all. Jeri Pete is a very unwell individual, no matter what gender, and has blocked herself off in her own delusions and self-induced isolation. And until her attitude changes, that will remain my headcanon. I'm Dulcet, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and possibly leave a comment down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider supporting my Patreon, and thank you to all of the patrons already for their continued support. And remember to always keep theorizing. You just might wind up right. Thank you for watching.
「夢なら衝動が語る未来」